Welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Tuesday, so you know what that means. We're going to have another segment of our hidden gems, and today we have a phenomenal hidden gem, and possibly another one that's going to be pulling up on us. I don't know what it is. Is the weather change? Everybody's just like, I can't show up. It's nice outside. I want to hang out. But yeah, we're gonna have a great show today. A phenomenal hidden gem today that we could talk some real important stuff for our community. So excited about that. I know this Sunday we did not have a show. It was Easter, but first I just want to replay a little bit of last weekend. Beautiful, beautiful time this weekend out in community. The WAGA event was so powerful. The peaceful rally that took place, 18 years, the war against gun violence and gun activity in our community was a phenomenal event. The parade was a huge success. So many folks from the community was out. I was out there. The community, we was having a great time, and it just reach and talk to our young people and just see the young people that was involved that want to bring peace to our community. And we know this gun violence have been ripping through the Bay Area for the last couple of weeks. Yesterday, another incident. Again, we got a lot of work to do, community, when it comes to this gun violence in our community. We have to have some more conversations about anger management. How do we work together? How do we come together? Our elders in the community, how do we work with our youth, bridge the gap with our youth? Because there's some conversations that need to be had. And again, a phenomenal weekend, a lot of events taking place in the city. We was able to get out and be a part of it. It was a lot of business networking going on, things happening here in the Bay Area. And it was just great to see Black folks in space, positivity, just things happening and folks trying to come together to come up with the solutions, come up with the answers, and uplift our community. So excited about that. And then Sunday was able to be out in community, was able to just praise and just be with community on Resurrection Sunday with community. I was invited to a community church with some phenomenal community leaders, some community folks that are very intentional in our community and have great impact. So just want to give a shout out to their congregation. Want to give a shout out to D. Hillman, to Sing, Cecile, all of the amazing folks over there that are just doing some amazing things. And when you talk about churches thriving, you look at the youth. You know, I'm always a evaluator of where does the youth, how are the youth impacting, and to see that congregation moving, the young folks doing the music, the young folk leading the praising, the young folks engaged with the programming was just phenomenal. So just happy and just honored to be a part of Straight. Some great folks and a great congregation. And Brother Hillman put on a nice sermon. And again, it was just great to be in community with community folks and making sure that our people are still getting that spiritual feeding that they need. I always tell people, no matter what you believe in, whatever your domination is, whatever, get something higher power, get something spiritual in your life, whatever it is, connect to something greater. And just great to see our young folks being developed, given the tools that they need to uplift the community, because that's what it's really all about. Making sure that our young folks are equipped with the tools, making sure they're part of the process, and making sure that they're pushing us forward. Because again, we can't move as a community if we don't involve the young people and we don't let them lead this process. They are the future. They have the answers, and they are very wise and have an understanding that most folks think they don't have, but they do. We just have to get them the tools to lead. So, excited about that. Again, a number of things taking place across the Bay Area. Yesterday, I heard tragic news of, when we talk about the substance abuse, this fentanyl in our community, the mental health. A mother had her child out there in the streets and walked away and left her baby there. I mean, I was just tore apart. When we talk about drugs and how they impact our community, to hear that story, it just broke me up. It's just like, how does a mother have her child in public and just leave it on the ground and walk away? The amount of mental health, mental needs in our community is at an all-time high. The amount of drug use and abuse in our city, we have to do work, community. We got some work we got to do. These type of things that's taking place on our public streets, this can't happen. This is not okay, and we got to fight to make change. And just shout out to all of the amazing community organizations and folks that are continuing to do the work, pushing through to provide mental health services, substance abuse. We have a problem across this country with fentanyl and different substance abuse issues and mental health. And we got to address the community. And we got to continue to make sure that the resources are available to the community folks. And, we got a lot of work to do, but very disheartening situation. A lot of things going on in the news, and I'm sure Khalees and them will be bringing that up. But again, pray for our community, pray for the people. We are in spiritual warfare. Things is happening. We are in the times that they say Revelation is revealing where we are as a country, as a city, as an area, the Bay Area. We are struggling, and we need some support and some help, and we need some prayers out there. So continue to pray for the people, pray for the community, our leaders, and we got work to do. We just got to keep stepping towards that. So with that being said, lastly, want to give a huge shout out to Uncle Stank. I put a post today just appreciating leadership and the elder of the community that is always giving back, mentoring, coaching, and we need that out of our community elders. So many times we're missing man leadership in the community, and I just appreciate Uncle Stank for the work that he does and just continue to uplift our young people. And as a coach, a mentor to me, just always holding me accountable, making sure that I'm standing in my square doing what I'm supposed to do. And that's what we need as brothers, just to stay on each other, hold each other accountable, and just making sure that we're being real and authentic, and just making sure that we doing things on the best interest. And sometimes when you get constructive criticism, folks turn to cringe and it's issues. But I always accept feedback, and I always understand and respect wisdom and leadership. And I just want to give him a shout out for all the amazing work that he continues to do to impact community, our young people, and just being a stand-up brother for the things. Nobody's perfect, but when we have men in the community who will step and stand on the right side of the future and for the right side of the advancement of people, it's always a great thing. So I appreciate that. And all my mentors, all of the amazing folks that continue to uplift community and people in the community is a great thing. And again, community, continue prayers for the Wizard. We want to just get him back to health. I know y'all been seeing the posts all over. That is my mentor, powerful brother that's been, walking with our community, blessing the city of San Francisco for many, many years. And when people like that go down, it just, I'm not the same. So a lot of people are like, what's wrong? I haven't seen you. When you have somebody who impacted your life the way he's impacted my life and others' lives, it's hard to just move as business as usual. But we're going to continue to pray for the Wizard. We'll continue to uplift him in the prayers as he has so many times done for our community and community folks. So just want to say, Jack, get well. We love you, brother. And we know we'll see you soon, real quick, getting back in the community and continue to do this work. With that being said, my co-host that does the most, Khalees, welcome here, Queen. Holla at the people.
Yes, I'm here, John. I'm definitely sending those prayers up for Jack the Wizard. We have to do that, right? And so over here at both sides of the conversation, I don't know if you all know, but the mission of both sides of the conversation is to analyze the needs of the Black and Brown community, criticize any barriers that impact the advancement of the community, and then mobilize to support the community in overcoming these barriers. We do this through open dialogue and community outreach. We are about that action, community. We believe in blessing the people about that action. So you got to understand that we move in ways that no other. We be in areas that nobody else has seen, because that's both sides of the conversation. So here it is, another Hidden Gems evening. I'm so glad that we are spending it with you all, and we have a lot to do.
Man, thank you for being here, and we're excited today. Y'all know this is my favorite segment. All the negativity happens all week. This is the segment where we get to uplift Black businesses, uplift community organizations and folks in our community that are doing some amazing, positive things to impact our community. So Tuesdays is always the day of just smiles and great conversations, because it's positivity, and we need it in our community because we know what's going on. And these earthquakes been around shaking up. We've been having little tremblers all over the place. Hang on, community. Mother Nature is talking to us. She's shaking the ground that we stand on. There's some work that needs to happen. But with that being said, community, we'll go ahead and jump into our community news announcements, and we're going to get these phenomenal hidden gems up here today. Khalees, go ahead and take off with our community news.
Absolutely. So I know you all have been watching the media. The Louisville shooter targeted bank coworkers. Yes, it was targeted. This person opened fire at a Louisville workplace, targeted people that they knew, the police said on Tuesday. So Connor Sturgeon, 25 years old, bought this AR-15 about a week ago, killed 5 people, and then live streamed the attack Monday before he was killed by police. It's just awful, community. All we talk about is these shootings. But yes, definitely we need to target our mental health and see where we're at. Reach out for help. UC Berkeley police investigate 4 cases of sexual assault. Yes, the UC Berkeley police, they investigated 4 back-to-back cases of sexual assault on campus. So there was the latest groping incident that was reported about midnight on Tuesday, where a woman was walking on the west side of the Foothill complex. Then the suspect grabbed the woman from behind, knocked her down to the ground, but she was able to escape. Then the police had provided photos of a similar looking suspect that was wanted for grabbing a woman's buttocks on Saturday by the Memorial Stadium. Then there was another one for touching a woman at Stevens Hall on Sunday. And of course, another woman on Wednesday at Eucalyptus Grove. So much is going on. That's at the school where we send our children to go get their college education. So women, men, everyone, please keep your eyes open. Look at your surroundings. Don't be out at midnight doing all the extra. Make sure you keep your head on the swivel and know your environments. Don't move around if you don't need to move around. Do it in the daylight. So the 5-year-old girl that was killed on the I-880 shooting, this was about 2 weeks before the baby's 6th birthday. Awful, awful, awful. This happened in Fremont. Sunday, the 5-year-old was shot and killed on Interstate 880 in Milpitas. This happened Saturday night. The baby was fatally struck by a bullet while they were headed to the Outback Steakhouse in Milpitas. They were driving on 880 and someone just started firing shots. You know, this has been all over. The baby, you know, didn't get blessed to see the rest of her life. This is very unfortunate. These shootings and carrying on. They were just on their way to Outback Steakhouse and this happened. Unavoidable. A dozen buses in San Francisco at the Potrero Hill was set on fire. These officials, the San Francisco fire officials, are trying to figure out why. These are mini buses from San Francisco that were owned for charter shuttles, and they go to all sorts of events. So 12 buses in the Potrero Hill, yes, they were on fire. Let me tell you about this juice jacking. So you got to be careful. The FBI warns of this public USB ports charging devices hacking. What's happening is these folks are tampering with the USB ports, and when you plug in your actual iPhones, your tablets, your laptops into these public electronic chargers, you should avoid them because folks are it's a cybersecurity risk. At airports, hotels, they're altering these public USB ports so that when you don't even have a clue, these unsuspected users are plugging their devices in, and there's malware that is going into and taking all your information out. So you got to be sure to be on the lookout for this type of stuff that's happening. Don't just plug in your personal devices into these public ports and think that you're safe. Avoid it by all costs, I'm telling you. So now we are going to go ahead and go right into our events, community events. We have so many events that are happening in the community. There's just a lot to do. After all this negativity, trust me, we have something positive for you to do that most of it is free of charge.
Okay, hi community. So some of the upcoming events that are, upcoming in the community, that are behind or trouble paying rent, San Francisco Emergency Rental Assistance Program. There are tenant counselors. You can get help at the email below. And if you have eviction papers, you can get help at the email below. And you can apply at this website. The Office of Economic and Workforce Development is having a second annual hospitality and small business job fair. This is on April 12th, 10 a.m. through 1 p.m. on the First Ferry Plaza building. You can register at the link below. Women Got Game, Women of Color Gaming Summit and Esports Tournament. This is at April 15th, and you can get more information at the website below. Beam is having a Black Economic Equity Movement. It's a guaranteed income project for residents of SF and Oakland. The deadline is the April 16th. You can apply at the link below. Enough, Plays to End Gun Violence. Calls for submissions now through April 20th. Calls for teenagers to submit a 10-minute play that confronts the issue of gun violence. You get more information at the website below. SF Emergency Preparedness Community Fair. Learn to protect yourself during disaster. This is happening April 22nd, 11 a.m. through 3 p.m. at the SF Main Library on 100 Larkin Street. You get more information at the link below. Bay Area Girls Teen Summit Workshops. There's prizes, it's free, and all meals are provided. April 29th, 8 a.m. through 7 p.m. at the Williams Chapel Baptist Church, 1410 10th Avenue, and Oakland. You can register at the link below. Then Pia's Dance Studio presents Dancing with the Ancestors, May 6th at 6 p.m., 2029 East Harding Way in Stockton. Mackey's Corner presents Suicide Awareness and Prevention, This is happening June 3rd at Gilman Park in San Francisco. You can help more at this email down below or at the number. San Francisco, Juneteenth. You can save the dates here. June 10th, there's the parade. June 16th is the City Hall kickoff and gala. June 17th is the Fillmore Festival, and June 18th is the Bayview Festival. You get more information at the website down below. Magic Zone is having a 2023 summer program. This is happening June 12th through August 4th, 8 a.m. through 5:30 p.m. at 10050 McAllister Street. Get more information at the link below. City Kids is having CuratorCon. You can save the date now. It's free creative outlets, art, music, and fashion. This is happening July 14th, 11 a.m. through 12:30 p.m. This is at 200 block of Jones Street. There's more information incoming. And here are some ongoing events. The SFHRC is having a regular bi-monthly commission meeting. The second and fourth Thursdays at 5 p.m. The SF City Hall room 416. The Zoom link is down below. Dreamkeeper Initiative monthly meeting is happening every third Thursday. You get more information at the website down below. African American Reparations Advisory Committee is having monthly meetings virtually at 5:30 p.m. It's happening every second Monday. You can register at the link below. After school writing workshops is happening at the Youth Speaks office. SF teams receive a $300 stipend. This is happening Wednesdays at 4:30 p.m. at 265 Shotwell Street, Unit B1. You can get more information at the link down below. Remove Rev. Amos Brown from the NAACP and Reparations Task Force. Reverend Brown does not represent the change we need. Both sides of the conversation needs your support and signature. You can sign the petition at the link below. Now for some scholarships and jobs happening in the community. Opportunities for All is having a Pathways to Economic Inclusion for Youth. OFA fellow apps are now open. You can have fun and get paid. You have to be 18 and have a high school graduate or GED. Or alternatively, there's opportunities for all for youth intern applications. You don't have to be 18 and you can still be in high school. The City and County of SF has an upcoming career event. There's a career resource fair. This is happening April 15th at 10 a.m. through 2 p.m. at Civic Center Plaza, 355 McAllister Street, San Francisco. You can register at the link below. And you can join our youth team. The SF youth volunteers are needed. There's a paid stipend, high school or college on-roll students needed. Join us with the email down below. You can give back to the community. We also need volunteers. We need Director of HR Finance, IT and Development, we need a fundraiser coordinator, an event planner, and a production assistant for marketing. You can get more information at the email hr@bsotc.org. If you're interested, please reach out. We're in search of volunteers. Our work is inspiring and feels good. We make a difference in the community with the tangible results to show it. We are a highly driven group of a high impact. We get the right things done the right way. Not only will you contribute to the community, but you will also learn and gain knowledge in your field of interest within the organization. We value your ideas and input. Sign up to be a volunteer today, and you can make a difference. You can also go to all of our social media sites for more news on how to give back to your community and support both sides of the conversation. Thank you, community.
Oh, thank you, Sanaya. Our youth team, phenomenal youth. You know, this is what it's all about, giving them an opportunity to speak up. Our youth conversation they participate in. It's just great to get our youth involved. And y'all heard me in the opening talking about how some of these churches are doing the right thing by getting the youth involved. Some of our community organizations letting the youth lead. And that's what we want to do here at both sides of the conversation. Continue to empower our youth. Give them the voice. The voice of the young people is powerful, community. So we want to keep them engaged and involved. So thank you, Sanaya, for getting through the community events. With that being said, community, we're getting ready to bring up our first hidden gem tonight. But this Thursday, okay, is our next live show. We'll have our next Educational Thursday. If you haven't tuned in, check out Thursday. Every Thursday, we have a PowerPoint presentation. We have some phenomenal folks to come over and intentionally bring the sauce, the information to our community that sometimes our community just don't get. Y'all will be here with Khalees and our youth team because the bishop will be on the road. I'll be out, but I will be tapping in, checking to see what's going on and engaging with community. So this Thursday, tune in. It'll be a great Educational Thursday. Y'all be here with Khalees and the team. And the bishop will be on the road. Check it out and making some things happen. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and bring up our first hidden gem tonight. This brother, I can't wait to talk to him. He got some great things. You want to get lit up? You want to get back in order, you might get shot. We got some electrical talk going on. Phenomenal to see our community impacting in the skilled trade. With that being said, Brother Daniel Watts.
Good evening.
What that Watts stands for. That Watts, that's a good combination. Watts with Watts.
Yeah. Good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Brother King. You know what I mean? It's just, happy to see you here. And I'm looking forward to learning a little bit more about your organization and things that you're doing. And let the community know. But go ahead, introduce yourself to the people.
Yes, my name is Daniel Watts Sr. I'm a husband of a wife, Takia Watts. I'm a father of 4 boys. I got 4 boys. One is 24-year-old. I have a 19-year-old, and also have twins that's 17 years old. I'm the owner and operator of Watts Electrical Services, LLC, here in Stockton, California, San Joaquin Valley. We service the Bay Area, North Cal, Sacramento, Modesto. Our motto's got tools, we'll travel. We don't discriminate. You want a project, we'll help you out. We do all things residential. We do commercial, and we do light industrial work. I'm a founder of a church here in Stockton, Right Hand of Fellowship Church. We planted it about 5 years ago. And we just love the community. We love supporting us. We all about us. I'm excited that you guys invited me here tonight. I just want to say thank you. Continue to do the good work that you're doing. It's needed. Everything you said tonight is so true. I chimed in on a few of your conversations, and you've been on point with it. It's about us supporting us. And we need more people that look like us, especially us men, to participate in these things. I'm kind of stepping out of my box because, I like to be closed in and be self-contained, but it's all about stepping out and supporting us. And that's what it's about. And that's what we're here for. That's what Watts Electrical here for. That's what the Right Hand of Fellowship Church is here for. We're all about giving back. So again, thank you for having me. God bless you. And I'm excited to be here tonight.
Man, we can't just let you go on that, brother. That's powerful, but we gotta have a little bit of juice before we let you go, before we bring up these queens. But listen, we here at both sides of the conversation, we talk about the Black ecosystem. We talk about building generational wealth. We talk about, how do we in this day, 2023, how do we build up the Black community? How do we build up the Black businesses? How do we continue to circulate our dollars in our community? Right. When you look at the disparities that the Black community is impacted in every sector, every area, we're at the bottom of everything. When it comes to the first fire, we there. When it comes to the last hire, we there. When it comes to the medical disparity, right, we're there. When it comes to the incarceration, we there. When it comes to substance abuse, I think every area of our lives, we at the bottom of the list, or at the top, as they say, for certain things. When we talk about entrepreneurship, when we talk about ownership, when we talk about generational wealth, when we talk about changing the narrative and building a community, it starts with organizations, companies like yours, because these are the essential needs that our community needs. When you talk about electrical, we talk about plumbing, you talk about roofing, you talk about heating and air conditioning. These are essential needs that we have to live day to day. When it comes to a company like yours to thrive, to be at its top potential, it takes the buy-in of the community. It takes the homeowners. It takes the renters. How do we convince them to make sure that, one, they support Black, look for Black folks? And this is why this segment is so important, because we bring Black businesses here, so people in the community can't lie and say, I couldn't find a Black electrician, or I couldn't find a Black chef, or I couldn't find a Black artist. We bring all of the Black folks right here, so you could know, we get their information out. But there's an issue in our community when it comes to supporting Black businesses, and I always have to call it out, right? Because I'm like, in our community, we need reciprocity. We need Black folks to trust other Black folks when it comes to business. Right. But business owners, we need you to deliver and have customer service and to deliver the goods and the deeds that you're contracted to do. But in all of this, there's a lot of dysfunction, a lot of things happening. But my question to you is, how do we fix it? Because I know you see it. You get some Black folks calling, you get them in the house, and they're like, oh, man, the brother down the street said they can do it for, Pedro said he can do it for $35.
That's right.
You want to charge me $100. How do we get out of that mindset?
I think
each other?
That's a great question, because that's always been my topic of discussion as well. Because first of all, it starts with us. It starts with us as being a minority-owned company, a Black-owned company. It starts with us delivering what we say we're gonna deliver. A lot of times when we go into contract with customers, and people call us for work, they already got a stigma on us. They already looking at us a certain way to under-deliver. A Black-owned electrical company, that's unheard of in most cases, so they always looking at us to under-deliver. And so you got to go in there on your A game. You got to deliver what you say you're going to deliver. Our motto here at Watts Electrical Services is integrity plus reliability equal great service. And that's something that we pen to paper, and we try to live by that, because we understand that the first thing they do when we walk inside their house, they already sizing us up. They already examining how we speak. They are examining how we look. They are examining how we pull up. And so you got to go in there on your A game and deliver what you can deliver, because when they look at you and they see that you Black, first of all, they're going to say, I don't know if I called the right person, and then one of the main things that got me through the door was my name. My wife tell me all the time, your name, Watts, your last name, first name Daniel, last name Watts. On paperwork, that's not me. Daniel Watts is not a Black man. Look it up, Google it. It's not a Black man. So instantly when they call me to the job site, they already threw off about who's stepping on the scene. And then they examine what I can deliver, how I talk, how I present myself, how I present my work. So we have to step it up a notch, and we have to deliver what we say we're going to deliver.
Man, I think that's very, very important and powerful that you said that. I'm always advocating, I'm all about dismantling systems, calling out the wrong, as Kali said, with our mission and vision, making sure that our voices are heard and we actually get true equity. You being a general contractor or contractor, C4 or C10, whatever it is, I believe it's C10. C10, one of the issues that I have, we fight here in San Francisco about it. When we talk about minority contracts, and this is why I tell people there's so many problems in the contracting business, and we got to really call it out, because these planning departments, these different building inspection and planning permits, when it comes to Black businesses, we don't get the true equity and opportunity. And that's why I always tell people, we got to call out the performative. We here to uplift Black folks and really call out what the issues are. One of the issues, not only in San Francisco, but all cities deal with when it comes to minority contracting. Because see, I believe that all Black contractors, all Black businesses should get 30 to 40% of the city contracts, right? But one of the loopholes that's in every city and county, and I've been fighting this for years. I understand. I do heating and air conditioning, so I know I'm talking that language, because I know. Yeah. We get these white business owners who turn their companies over to put in their wife's name, and now they qualify as a minority contractor, right? There's so many loopholes and games that take place that really push the Black contractors out of getting that wealth and that equity that comes into our cities when it's developing. You look at all the cranes that's going around the Bay Area, across the Bay Area and beyond. The amount of Black contractors are so small. And a lot of times they're just subcontracting you just to fill a box to say that they did somebody in the community. But I've been fighting. I've been on these calls, and I've been talking to these folks, and we got some folks that's moving into the planning departments and things. We got to fix that. We got to find a way that we make sure when we're talking about elevating Black and brown businesses, especially our Black businesses who are at the bottom when it comes to city contracts, making sure that they get the equity. We have to put something in place to say a percentage, 20, 30% of this contract must go to a Black-owned contractor, whether it's a Black woman, Black. Because if we don't get that, we never get the contracts. And that's the only way that a small business can really thrive to become a larger business. And we got to get that language in these contracts, because if not, the same game keeps happening, and they just go in there and say, hey, well, we're giving all of these jobs to minority contractors. But when you do the research, who the contractors are is the same old people doing the business. Right. They just put it in their wife's name and they're getting all of the contracts. So we got to really, when we talk about reparations, when we look at the overall picture of what equity really looks like, this is why I'm always fighting with these allies that say they're for the Black people. We want to see this. Well, true equity means when you're in those planning departments, when you're in those contract processes, that you are making sure when you advocate for Black folk, that Black folks get a seat at the table. That's right. And they actually get a portion of those contracts. Right. You know what I mean? So what do you think about that? Because I think that's something that we got to fight to get, in the documents, in the paperwork, because all of this stuff, it goes into the paperwork, and we know we get left out and burned in the paperwork. Sometimes for Black businesses, they'll give you that and they'll put the other loophole, the amount of insurance you have to have.
Right.
I mean, there's so many loopholes. Every time you make a little step forward, they throw something else out there that sets you back. But what do you feel about that as what you're seeing as a contractor? I know the residential market is definitely a little different than the commercial market, but as you out there bidding on jobs, getting RFPs and things of that nature, what is that looking like to you as a Black electrical contractor?
Well, it's difficult. It's difficult. You see it when you go into these building departments. You see it when you encounter these inspectors on a job site. You see how they treat you differently. You see that. So you have to be the person that's doing what you said. If you up to part on your work and you delivering like you're supposed to deliver, when they question you and calling you out on certain things, you know how to come back to them. You know how to respond to them, not in a negative way, but in a professional way. Because once again, they're not expecting us to know what we know. They're not expecting us to have the information that we got. So when they start talking about electrical code and national electrical code, California electrical code, and you start talking back to them, because one thing about it in this trade has been an electrician, you got to do more than just know how to do the work. You got to know how to talk the talk. So when I go in there to these building departments, and I'll get the pulling permits and everything, and they see that my name is Daniel Watts of Watts Electrical Services. And not only I'm not just a guy out here working for somebody, but I am the owner of the company. I got to go in there, present myself a certain way, because people will only do what you allow them to do. When you're in this position, you got to know that you got the right to be here. So when we step into these buildings and we sit in here and have these meetings with the inspectors and these builders, they already trying to push you out the way, by what they present in front of you, the paperwork. So I think that if more of us need to step up and advocate, so the guys that's coming behind us, can be able to get a leg up in this game. But I see it all the time. It's a tough task, but we got to continue to fight.
Man, and I'm glad you're on the front line. We had another brother a few weeks that's in the operating engineers who came on. These unions got to do their part too.
Right.
I mean, when we talk about equity, that's why I tell people it comes full circle.
Yeah.
The unions have to do a better job to make sure that they're getting Black electricians and Black plumbers into the trades, because too many times we're left out there, right? And that's why my next question to you is, what are you going to do with Watts Electrical in the future? How are you going to bring the next generation of electrical technicians into your business and give them the education? Because I've been talking to a couple of the HVAC guys, and I'm saying, hey, we need to create our own schools. We need to make our own apprenticeship where we can bring in some of the young brothers from the community, put together at least the basic training so that they understand the language, the tools, the basic part to get started, and then they can venture off. We need more Black inspectors, because I see that out in the trade too. Like you said, they come do a walkthrough. Now they want to shut you down and make you wait, where if somebody white, they say, hey, well, you just go ahead. I'm going to walk downstairs in my car and make that change. You get what I'm saying? It's so many politics in this stuff. But the more we can empower our young people, I always tell the young people, you don't have to be a janitor. There's an opportunity out there, and I would like to see Watts Electrical be in the lead down there in the Central Valley, bringing the young brothers on, teaching them how to do ATS switch gear, teaching them how to do all of the big work, working on 14,000 kV, working on 250. Come on, I want the brothers down there.
That's awesome, man, because that has always been my dream. My vision before we started the company. I've been doing electrical for 22 years. And before we started the company, we got a nonprofit called New Perspective Living. And one of my visions was to start a trade school, because that's where I started off. I went to a trade school back in 2001, to start a trade school and to bring in young brothers, not discriminating against nobody else, but to give us an upper hand, because first of all, when they see if you're a felon, they don't open the door for you. If you're convicted of this, you're convicted of that, they don't give you an opportunity. Well, what gave me an opportunity was because I was a convicted felon. I've been to prison. I was a convicted felon, but I went to a trade school and that gave me a leg up. And what I did was my family, we moved to Louisiana, and I got up under a Black-owned, minority-owned company, Logistics Electrical, who taught me the ropes. And my vision was, when I start my electrical company, I'm going to open the door for other young Black males. And I did that with two of my sons. One of my son, he was caught up in the system. When he came home, I gave him his job. He went to electrical school, went to UEI, and now he got a certificate and he's been working. He could wire up a whole house right now. And then I got my other son who graduated from high school, who's also working with me now. So when you say give the young black man an opportunity, I'm all for that. But once they get on the job site, we not just teaching them electrical, we teaching them ethics. Pull up your pants, turn the music down, present the customer. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Because like I said, they're already looking for us, and thinking we don't know what we know. So when you in there and wiring up these people's houses, let them know you know what you're doing. First of all, it's all about how you present yourself. When you walk in their house, they shouldn't see your underwear while you wiring up their receptacle. They shouldn't see the cartoon character on your boxers while you wiring up their plugs. No, you got to present yourself a certain way. So that's what we hear. That's what we're doing at Watts Electrical Services. We trying to bring the young man that's coming into the game, teach them ethics, teach them what it's about being responsible, what it's about having character, integrity, because when you walk in there, my son got dreads, when he walk in the house, he got locks, dread locks. They don't want to call it dreads. He got locks, but when he walk into a customer house, when we pull up on the job site, I see how they looking at him. So I tell him, you step it up a notch by what you do when you enter their house, clean up each room before you leave out the room. Make sure everything's working before you leave. Make sure everything is intact before you leave. So we all about that. And that's what it's about, us giving back to the next generation so they can be an example to let them know we do know what we're doing and we out here.
Man, brother, see, this is why I love this segment. See, you got me all excited because that's what it's about. And that's why every Tuesday I'm here advocating for Black ownership.
Man, keep it going.
When you own something, you can hire the people who look like you. You can give little Pookie and Ray Ray an opportunity if they're ready.
That's what it's about.
You get what I'm saying? Leadership. That's what I'm excited about. See, this is what I'll be talking about. Demonstrating what's possible. Brother, you did it. And this is why it's important as a Black man, as a king, as a business owner, to come here and tell your story. Because again, if somebody out there watching that's going to see you and say, if he did it, I could do it.
Yes, sir.
And that's all we need. I ask the Black man of the community, lift up your voice, kings. Don't be afraid. Speak out and be vulnerable and tell your truth, because your testimony is the very testimony that can change the next person in our community's life. And again, electrical is what's needed. All of the recessed lighting that's going on, all of the rewiring that's going on here in California, okay? They said they're getting rid of all of the gas cars in 2035. Brother, you're going to be busy because everything's going electrical, brother.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They get rid of all of the furnaces, everything going electric. So you're going to be busy, brother, and we're going to call that. We're going to claim that. So you can go ahead and hire some of them young people in our community and give them an opportunity. But I understand the trades. I'm a union man myself. Okay, over 28 years, local 38. Okay, so I know how it is on the job site. I know the racism. I know the hate we got to deal with. You got to deal with the journeymen who don't want to teach you because they worry you go take their job. Black man, we got to get out of that scarcity mindset. Teach the young brothers. Pass the torch, elders. But go ahead, Collies. I know Collies want to jump in there. Go ahead, Collies.
I do, because when you get to talking about young men and kids, it just does something to me because I'm passionate about kids, especially young men. So I'm wondering now, you told me you shared with the community that you were in the system. What type of encouragement can you give our young men? Because a lot of our young men this day and age, they're used to a certain amount of money in their hands. And they get it quick. They get it quick. But there's a better way. Longevity is the way, right? And what you're teaching, what you've shared with us, what you're teaching, I mean, God bless you and your family and your business. What you're teaching these young men, I mean, you can't just get that at any union or trade school. This is something different. But what type of encouragement can you reassure and give our young men that's coming back out in the community from being locked up, to let them know, look, there is a better way? What can those words be?
That's been a message that I've been preaching my whole converted life about. There is a better way. And what I would tell them is trust the process. That's what I tell my oldest son, trust the process. Because me being an individual who's been to prison, who's been to San Quentin, who's been through the ropes, who's been through the trial, born and raised in Oakland, California, who's been through the trials and the tribulations and seen every door close in my face. Like Bishop said, I was the first on the chopping block when it came to laying off folks. I was the first person that they let go. I was the first person that they told no to. I got hired and then got let go. I was the first person. So what I would tell each and every one of my young brothers out there that's coming out the system, that want to do better, that's living in a poverty environment, I was there. Trust the process. Sometimes we got to go through it in order to get to where we need to be, but never diminish who you are. Never allow somebody to step on you so much that you forget that there's purpose in you. You know, and that's what I would tell them. Trust the process, go through it, and then put forth your best effort. Everything you do, put 100% in. You know, do your best, put 100%. And no matter how they treating you on the job site, you continue to have integrity. You continue to be who you are, continue to stand for what you believe in, and just trust the process. Trust the process. It's going to be rough. It's going to be hard because it's always rough and hard for us. They don't expect us. When I was going for my electrical company, I had a individual that I worked with, a Caucasian brother, you know, and we worked graveyard for an electrical company. And 2:30 every morning, I was studying for the test, for the contractor's test. And, you know, he was looking at me laughing and this and that. So I came in one day and put in a 2 weeks notice, and he didn't believe it. But he don't understand is that what's inside of me, I'm not going to allow nobody to hold back. You know, so our young men be so defeated and so beat down because of the environment that they in. But we got to continue to encourage them that it's possible. You know, it's possible. You might be an employee one day, but you can be an employer the next day if you stay the course. So I'll tell them to trust the process and always got to put their faith in God. That's the number one thing for my life. Put your faith in God, and God will make it happen. He will make it happen. When I gave him back my number, when I gave him back my prison number, I was so excited. But the biggest part of that is when I went and got my record expunged. Went and got my record because to get an electrical contractor's license, you can't have no felony. So I went and got my record expunged, and then they gave me my contractor's license. So nothing can hold you back when you put your mind to it. Keep God first, put your mind to it, and trust the process, and all things are possible. You know, if I can do it, anybody could do it.
Determination.
Do it. Yes, sir.
Black men listening out there. Determination, perseverance. You must persevere.
That's
you
right.
can't overcome the obstacles, kings, queens. You just got to have a little bit of love.
Yes.
Have a little bit of spirituality.
That's right.
Got to have a little bit of support.
Yes.
Got to have the community behind you. And change can happen. When we talk about changing the narrative,
it's possible.
Woo, Brother Watts.
Yes, sir.
You are that definition of changing the narrative, King.
Sir, bless you.
I'm happy you're here tonight. My spirit is uplifted.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all. I'm excited to be able to be transparent, you know, and be able to share my testimony and be able to give back. That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
I'm glad you're here. I see your lovely wife in the chat supporting you.
Yes, sir.
Black women always saying, where are the black men at? Queens, pay attention. Yeah. We're stepping together.
Yeah.
When they talk about black love, it's happening, Queens. Be patient.
Awesome.
Well, you know, brother, listen, we got some other hidden gems we got to get up here. But before we let you go, I want you to give out any shout outs to your kids, your family, anybody that was there to help you do the way, because I don't want them to come on and say, man, Brother Watts, you came on here, you didn't represent. I was there with you when you didn't have nothing.
Yeah,
you
right.
Go out and shout out your mentors and the people that supported you. Shout out the old lady and everybody that's been there for you.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about. We have to publicly uplift the queen.
Right.
So they understand that they are appreciated for standing by us when nobody else would, for believing us when the system said we coming back. Thank you, Queens. Let's go, Brother Watts.
Yes, you know, first of all, I thank God for everything. God is my all in all. My beautiful wife, Takia Watts, you know, she held me down. You know, she used to visit me every Saturday in prison. You know, she rolled with me, held me down before we had any kids. And we've been married for how long? 22 years. We've been married for a long time. And just, you know, my queen, she holds me down and I appreciate it. You got to have a support system. You know, you got to have a support system. My pastor in Louisiana, Robert T. Green Jr., spoke life into me, changed my life, you know, changed my life and got me to the point where I actually believe, you know, that things are possible, that I can become something, I can strive to become something. Not only that, not for me, but for others, because that's what it's about. It's about becoming something for others, and that's what we got to understand. It's not about building ourselves up, but it's about becoming a better person so you can pour into somebody else, and that's what we about. You know, that's always been my motto. It started with my home, with my boys, you know, teaching them, you know, that they don't have to do what the outside sources do. You know, I know they're going to encounter life, but one thing, you got to have a foundation. So I'm just thankful for everybody that was there, who supported me, my family. I thank you guys for having me tonight, and continue to do the work. Continue to do the work. I'm encouraged. Thank you.
Man, I'm glad you're here. But I can say is this: community electric. I know it's springtime. Yeah. We're spring cleaning. We're getting ready to start remodeling. We want barbecues in the backyard. If you got any electrical needs, there's a brother right here in the community. You can uplift and support. Call Watts Electric. Come have them give you a quote. Support your people. Give them an opportunity to put in the recessed lighting, to put in the patio lighting, to redo and put in the 200 amp breakers, because everybody's buying Teslas now. Call up the king, all right? Brother, thank you for being here. We got to get you back in and got to get you and the wife back. We're going to be having some relationship shows coming up, because these are the stories that the queens of the community need to hear. These are the stories that the brothers of the community need to hear. When we talk about Black love, when we talk about patience, holding each other down. See, sometimes queens, you never know. You just got to stand in there. See, a lot of times everybody just want to quit. Give up. Just think if your wife would have quit. What could it be? But she stood there. And God is blessing you, receiving all the blessings from the people. Come on, man. All power to the people, King. Thank you for being here. And we're going to do everything we can to help support you. If you have any promotional things going on for electrical maintenance or circuit breaker repairs, or some kind of discounted promotion or whatever, send us over the digital flyer so we can make sure we get it out to the community. I know everybody's putting pools in their backyard and hot tubs close to summertime. Call a good brother to come set up your wiring, all right?
Absolutely. Malik, excuse me, Daniel, one more question. I have a Malik on here stating that he needs an electrician. Do you travel abroad, out of the valley? Do you travel?
Yes.
You do?
We travel. Got twos, we'll travel. Give us a call. You can call us, 209-616-4480. Check us out, wattselectricalservices.net. Check out our Yelp review. See what people are saying about us. You know, don't take my word for it. Take other people's word for it. You know, and give us a call. We'll come out. We'll give you a quote, like the bishop said. Allow us to give you a quote, and let's go from there. We do everything, all things electrical. We'll rewire your whole house, Tesla chargers, whatever you need. Give us a call.
Man, Brother Watts, thank you. And community, don't be calling this brother talking about give me a discount. Black folk, we got to knock that off, okay? Pay the people, okay? Stop always trying to look for the next best deal. Support your people.
Appreciate it.
Reciprocity, community. Support the people. Don't be asking black businesses for discount. The next person I see do that, oh, Lord, I'm going to have a conversation. We got to support our black businesses. Y'all go to Gucci. Y'all buy Birkin bag. Y'all do all this big balling that y'all be doing on Instagram. Don't be coming in there asking for, can I get a discount? No. Pay the cost to be the boss.
That's right.
Brother Dad, hey, I appreciate you being here, King. Tell the old lady, I'm proud of y'all. Looking forward to getting y'all back on, and the young, your sons. We're going to have a great conversation. Looking forward to having y'all here. Thank you for being here tonight. Like I said, anything we could do to help you, please send it over. We'll make sure that we get it out to the people.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank y'all for having me. God bless y'all.
All power to the people. Thank you, King. All right, community. There y'all go. There you go. If you're looking for an electrician, you got one. Don't be saying where the Kings at, because they out there making stuff happening. And, you know, we excited. But we're going to bring up our last guest. They coming up here in the duo. We're going to talk about some food. They got some stuff going on. I got to learn a little bit more about this vegan and some of the stuff that's going on. But with that being said, we're going to bring up the queens to come talk about some of the things that they're doing. Sister Ranisha, Sister Rahima, welcome to both sides of the conversation, queens. Talk to the people. Let them know who y'all are and what y'all doing.
Hey, thank you for having us. So my name is Ranisha Johnson Hassan. I'm one half of the Vegan Hood Chefs.
And I'm Rahima Calloway, and I'm the second half of the Vegan Hood Chefs.
So we are a community-based business. We are a food truck, and we are also provide catering services and also educational classes for the community. Our goal is to increase education and access, particularly for Black and Brown communities. And we make some of your favorite traditional comfort food, soul food dishes with a healthy vegan spin on it. We've been around since 2017, and our business has just taken off on its own. We actually, Amy will tell you more, but didn't plan on this being a business. It just has blossomed into what it is now.
Yeah, so both of us, Ranisha and I, we're from San Francisco. I'm from Lakeview. Ranisha's from Hunters Point, and we're community organizers. So since we were children, we've been organizing around the way the war is waged against Black people in San Francisco. And as we transitioned back home from college, we were organizing around this displacement of Black folks in San Francisco, particularly in Bayview, Hunters Point. And we learned more about the food justice part and the environmental racism that the Black community has been experiencing in San Francisco. And so we started doing campaigns around like health is wealth. I worked with the Department of Public Health with a program called the Food Guardians, which were Bayview residents that were going into community stores and changing the infrastructure of the stores and to offer healthy produce and food items. And so like as we were organizing in Bayview, we started to kind of take a journey inside and realizing that, you know, we can't be outside all day protesting and not really wanting to be here for longevity, and learning that a lot of the illnesses that our communities have faced was directly in correlation with what we were eating. And so in college, Ranisha had a health scare, and that jump started her journey to veganism. And when we got back home, she challenged me as her friend to join because I thought she was crazy. I came home one day, she bald and she's not eating meat anymore. And I'm like, what's going on? And as we were learning in our own healing and our own journey, we were learning that a lot of the health issues that are passed down to us generationally is directly correlation to what we were eating. And so we started the Vegan Hood Chefs to basically hold ourselves accountable and challenge each other to eat better and also our peers. And from there, we had a friend named Breezy who was having an event, and her caterer called out or canceled at the last minute. And she was like, hey, I know y'all cook. Could y'all come cook for us? And we ended up selling out for 200 people. And so from there, the community chose us, and we've started trapping out the trunk and selling plates on Instagram. And now we are like nationally known. We have a food truck. We have a really popular catering business. We go all over the Bay Area. And we also have a community aspect piece of our business because we're organizers and we like to marry our work is called Heal the Hood, where we go into communities that are impacted by food apartheid. And we have health wellness coaches, folks who were able to heal themselves from different ailments by adopting a plant-based diet. We also prepare over 350 meals and give out produce bags and all different things. And so we just had our 8th event on Friday in correlation with the First Fridays in Oakland.
Wow. Very powerful stuff. Now, I got to say this before I even get started. I got to get y'all to come back on our Educational Thursday to do a PowerPoint presentation to educate our community about food. I'm new to this vegan stuff, okay? I see vegan all over the place. Everybody's going vegan. I even met Pinky from Slutty Vegan, okay? I started thinking about how can I get into vegan? If Pinky can make $50 million, I need to get into this vegan. But it's turning into a phenomenon, and I know our community need to be educated more on it. I know there's so many different plant-based, so many different things happening when it comes to food. But one of the things that you hit on that's very important about the environmental issues, the environmental justice needs that are needed in Black community. When you talk about the apartheid, the food deserts, when you look in Black and brown communities across this country, no grocery stores, no healthy food. Everything's processed, fast food, corner stores, you know, and this model of folks going vegan, plant-based, and all these different things that's going on. It's starting to come around. But I'm new to it. I'm still trying to learn. But the other day I had ate something. They said it was vegan. They didn't tell me, and it was really good. So I guess some things I can digest, and some things I can't. Somebody gave me some tofu, and I was like, I don't care how bad it is. I ain't eat no tofu. but there is things that folks are doing vegan that is really tastes good. It is good for you. We had a guy come on a couple weeks ago who's doing the vegan ice creams. So it's different things happen vegan. We had the vegan donut guy on here. He got all his donuts at Rainbow Groceries and stuff like that. But I'm impressed with you all are doing. I really want to learn more because I'm really trying to really change my eating patterns and trying to find other things that I can eat that's more, healthy for me and just good too. But I've seen you guys at some events, and I know the mobile part that you all do. I know we got Juneteenth coming up, and I definitely want to make sure y'all get all the information. I know y'all probably already got it, but make sure y'all get all the vendor list of events that's coming up, and we'll make sure we share out you guys information for corporate parties. And this is why this segment is so important. We got all these allies and folks who are watching, people in Kaiser, different large corporations. And I'm always telling these folks, you want to bring equity to Black folks, you want to help Black folks, hire the vegan hood chefs. See, bring them into your space, pay them top dollar, let them come feed the people. That's equity. You see what I'm saying? We tired of the performative inclusion and diversity, and we're trying to help Black folks, but we don't see it. But you all get the opportunity to come here because we got a lot of allies who watch us and say, Bishop, we're going to come watch the guests, and we're going to support some of these businesses. And I'm like, hey, support my people. The next event you have, the next team meeting you have, make sure you reach it out to the chefs, to the food folks. Let them pull up and get an opportunity to make some of the money that's going on in our community. They all the stuff going on at Chase Center, the pop-up trucks. We got, all of the food mobile trucks. Make sure that the people get a space so that they can be a part of it, because off the grid and got off the hook. That be talking people. They don't want to get us involved, right? I've been talking to those people. Hey, don't be coming into our community off the grid and don't want to give Black trucks an opportunity to make some of that money, okay? We got to stay on them too. So we're doing our part. I'm in these meetings and I'm talking to these people because they come in here and they telling people how much they need and what they need. But when you start looking around, the trucks don't start looking like the people that they say they're giving equity to. So again, a lot of work need to happen, but proud of work y'all doing. But y'all got to tell me a little bit more about this vegan stuff because I need to understand it. I don't know about the plant-based and all. What is it? Why is it needed? Give me something.
So to be vegan is to not eat any animal-based products, right? And so vegans don't eat honey, right? Because it comes from bees. But what we consider ourselves to be is plant-based, right? Because we recognize that there is a level of privilege and lack of access that happens in our community. And with veganism blowing up, in America, you can be vegan and not necessarily be healthy, right? Because they have all of these meat replacement products that, one package is like 900 calories. And so what we just want to encourage is that people in our community bridge the gap. We've always been stewards of the land. And so to continue that relationship and making sure that we just eat more plants. And I think that's our motto. And so we promote being plant-based, and vegan is a start, right? And we just want folks to recognize that what we consume can heal our bodies. But I think we have to take it a step further from just saying that we're vegan, but recognizing that we're reclaiming our relationship as Black people to our land.
Wow. Now, I just want to ask this. Y'all not offended, okay? Because I got to be careful because I had some people at PETA was mad at me because I had a fur coat on. Now, is vegan like the PETA people? Because I like my honey now. I don't know how I'm going to get past the honey. I like putting honey on my toast in the morning, okay? I like honey in my tea. Do y'all got a vegan honey or something for me? Because I can try something, but I don't want to be disrespecting y'all, okay?
Not at all. We are not offended, and we know that a lot of vegan communities can be judgy, and we just trying to bring our people with us. And we don't want folks to be put in the box. We just want you to add a little bit more vegetables to your plate, and that's really it. And what I can say about us, because I know you mentioned tofu, we get down, and our goal is to make sure we cook food that you don't have to sacrifice your culture. And so we're known across the bay for our macaroni and cheese, for our fried chicken. And what's really great and what sets us apart from other businesses is that we actually cook in our food. There's a 2 or 3 items that we use some of the replacement meat. The majority of it, we're manipulating plants, mushrooms. In the summertime, we have a lobster macaroni and cheese that goes down. Sorry, y'all. We have a lobster mac and cheese that's really delicious. We have like jambalaya. We make some really popping garlic noodles. And so we make sure that when we're cooking, like you're not sacrificing your culture for sure. And you could always smell the food off the truck. And I live by 2 mottos. 1, if your mac and cheese is nasty, you are not to be trusted. 2, you cannot smell the food coming off the truck, you need to leave. Like if you walk into a restaurant and you cannot smell the food or the aroma of the essence of cooking, you need to leave. And at our truck, you definitely are going to get both of that. You're going to get the flavor, you're going to get the food, the aroma, all of the things on the Vegan Hood Chef's truck.
So you definitely talking my talk. I love this. I've been on your website. We talking about hot honey chicken bacon ranch mac and cheese. So I was reading that and I'm like, wait a minute, because I'm greedy and I set the bar high. I can cook. So I was reading this and I'm like, wait, these are vegans. Hold on. Okay, so I'm trying to pick this apart. We talking about honey. We talking about chicken, bacon, and cheese. Tell me about it. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so our grandmothers, we honor our grandmothers in a lot of our recipes because they actually taught us to cook. So a lot of what we cook is connected to them coming and being from Louisiana. And so we just take, our mac and cheese. We can't give y'all a secret, but it definitely has that favorite place and seasoning. We season it real well. And then our chicken replacements, we either use jackfruit, which is really popular in the plant-based community. And when it's in this ripe stage, it actually tastes like juicy fruit gum. But you can brine it, and it can be a chicken replacement. So we make nuggets out of that. You can also shred it and be like a mock pulled pork. And then we also use oyster mushrooms or any kind of mushrooms really to manipulate and make meat replacements. And then our hot honey, a good substitute for honey is agave. So you can get good agave nectar, which is a more organic substitute. And then we make our own hot honey sauce with using peppers. We can't give y'all all the details, but we do have a cookbook out. And so if y'all want to just tap into our cookbook, we have some of our favorite winter recipes in that called The Hoodest Winter Ever. But again, like all of your favorite food items without sacrificing the love and the seasoning.
Whoa. And I truly love that. So I have a question because I love cooking oxtails and neck bones and greens. And I seen on your website, y'all soul food cooks. So how can you not give up a real like neck bone and oxtail? How can you change that into something vegan?
Well, there are some pieces that you don't get when you're making the oxtail. But we just made a jackfruit oxtail and it was really good. We used all of the herbs and I think we made a Jamaican Jamaican oxtail. So we had our thyme popping off. We had our buttered beans up in there. We had our jackfruit and we just seasoned it like you would do regular oxtails and stewed it a little bit. And so there's like the fat that you miss or when you're eating it in the textures, but with the jackfruit, you still get that chicken texture. And then there's other things you can do to add the flavor, like enhance it with like the umami from the mushrooms, and you kind of use all the browning. And so we have been pretty successful at like making meat replacements and like not sacrificing the texture or getting close to the texture as we could with the vegan dish.
I'll also add to it's really the seasoning because a lot of what like when you think about traditional greens, you get that smokiness from the like turkey necks or the ham hocks you would put in it, but you can replace some of that with like smoked paprika, right, as a spice. And so I think just thinking about like what is the element or taste element that I'm trying to replicate, and a lot of times in the plant world, you'll be able to find spices that'll replicate that. And the same thing with the meat textures. A lot of it, we're really connected to the textures of the meat, and you can find mushrooms or different plants to replicate a lot of that as well too.
Yeah, and you said bacon, so there's maitake mushrooms that taste like bacon. There's the pink oysters. If you cook them correctly, they will give you a bacon taste. And so a lot of us, we like to eat. So before we were he was eating and tearing down. In my role in my house, I was the guinea pig, so I tried everything, and I told you what it was missing and what it needed. And so we just married that together, and with like research and like looking like in our transition was like, well, what vegetable tastes like fruit? I mean, not fruit, like chicken, and then we would research it, and then we would traditionally prepare the mushroom like we would do as if we were cooking with our grandmothers.
So y'all putting liquid smoke and everything is what you're telling me.
Not liquid smoke.
Really not.
No.
Well, one of the things that I want to do, because Renisha talked about the book, is if y'all could put the book information in our chat so we can get that on the screen. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and buy a couple of books from y'all. Can we get on Amazon? Tell the people where they can get the books, because I want to look at some of the recipes and see, what I could do and try some different stuff. I'm a jungle man, so I might get out in the middle of the jungle. I need my plant-based recipe to make some survival meals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we also offer cooking classes. Part of our services outside of catering, we do personal chef services. Like we said, we started off really cooking with the seniors at Rafiki Wellness in the Bayview. So our seniors are near and dear to our heart. And so we have a lot of folks in our community who are interested in figuring out how to transition into being plant-based, or even just how to eat more plants. We are accessible. So we will come to you and teach you, right? We also have guides that we've created for folks as to how to shop vegan or what to look for. So it's more accessible for the community as well too, outside of the cookbook.
That's pretty dope. I know there's a lot of events coming up. We're back in the summertime, or getting close to getting into the spring, summertime. So I know you guys are excited. Make sure you guys check us out. All the events going on, we are putting them out, making sure community know where to go, where's things happening, so that y'all can be out at these events. We're going to do something to support you all. Definitely we'll get the books, and we'll give it to Khalees and see if she can make some of them smoked turkeys. She like to cook. She's the cooker on both sides of the conversation. But no liquid smoke, okay? No liquid smoke. But one of the things that I wanted to ask, because maybe there is somebody out there watching who are that's considering, going vegan, or maybe picking up your book and trying it. What's the difference in time of like preparing meals? Is it the same as regular meals? Is it faster? Do you have to cook it longer at different temperatures, or is it just normal like the regular food process?
It's normal like the regular food process. Like vegan food, you just really cooking vegetables. So we eat vegetables, and I think, I feel like it's normal like the regular food process. And vegan food is starting to be more accessible. So you can go and get jackfruit at any of your local grocery stores now and find it canned, right? Which will help speed your process up versus like buying it whole and having to pick through it, etc. And so I think, it's just like you would cook anything else. We just, now you're not putting ham hocks in your red beans and rice. That's it.
Yeah. And I think one of the other things is, when we talk about the time, so they must have vegan oil that y'all use, or is it just, what do y'all use for the oil? Vegan oil?
Grapeseed oil. Regular oil.
Wait a second. So y'all using peanut oil or vegetable oil?
So we use grapeseed oil, which has a better frying content. Because, sometimes when you're cooking with olive oil, it's toxic. It releases toxins. We don't use soy. Too much soy produces you don't want to be walking around with an extra chest part if you were a woman. We don't use peanut oil because a lot of Black folks have peanut allergies to nuts, and a lot of people. So we try to be pretty accessible on our truck. But we use grapeseed oil, a lot of grapeseed oil, avocado oil,
sunflower oil.
So do y'all offer any services? Like, do y'all do meal prepping for people? Because that's what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find somebody that can meal prep for me. I don't know if I'm ready to go all vegan yet, but I mean, do y'all do vegan meal prepping and stuff like that? Or no? Do y'all do like HelloFresh? Y'all prepare a bunch of stuff and ship it to people? Is that where y'all trying to go? I'm trying to figure out this vegan movement, because this $1 billion industry is increasing every year. I'm like, it's a commodity there. I got to talk to my investors. I got to start putting my money vegan. That's where everybody's going.
Well, we have a lot of folks who just recently inquired with us about meal prep, and so it definitely is a service that we're looking into starting. I think towards the end of this year, because you were like the 10th person last week who asked us about meal prep. So that's a market we definitely need to tap into.
Well, yeah, I just think it's just, I mean, that's the hardest thing, growing up, I used to think, I see people saying, I got to do all of this stuff. And I'm so busy right now in my life, or just, those type of services are worth it, right? And if you could get a healthy meal, right? And then you have people who are full on vegan, and some of these cities and towns doesn't have access to vegan food. So I'm just saying that might be a little niche that y'all jump into, and get you a couple clients and, prepare for a week for them. But I mean, I'm looking for it now. I can't keep up in the kitchen. I'm a good cook now. Don't get it twisted. I ain't a vegan chef, but I am the hood chef. I get in there, the bishop be down. Okay? But I always don't have time. So I'm always looking at those type of services, because I just believe that, as we become busier, people's lives change, as their diets change. Those type of services are needed, especially like you said, when we serving our elders, folks who are going through cancer treatment, different things. They're trying to change their diet up, right? We already talked about the food desert and apartheid in our community. This is where you all become a hidden gem of our community and can really provide a service to folks and give them that healthy eating and, some love eating. Because I always believe when Black folks cook, it's a lot of love in it. Give them some of that love through the food. And, that's just something I just wanted to throw out there. But Khalees, you got anything else before we let these queens go? Because we've been holding them up. We want them to get out there and make some stir-fried potatoes and tomatoes tonight. I don't know what they got in that big.
I'm just excited. I can't wait to chase that truck down and get a hold of some of that food. But I do tell you one thing. I don't know how y'all able to pick up those jackfruits and open them up. Have you seen the inside of those?
They're really good.
It's not. Please.
No, it's really good. It's really good though. So the first time we had jackfruit like raw like that was in Jamaica. And like she said earlier, when it's like ripe, it tastes like juicy fruit gum. And so it's really good. You should try it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was jackfruit, but I had some kind of papaya, something in Jamaica when I went. It was really good. But the chicken was really good in Jamaica. I can say that. The chicken.
Was it chicken, John?
I don't know. I mean, we're going to keep it vegan. I think it was some kind of... But, before we let you go, just want to say, one, we commend you all for what you're doing, bring that health awareness to our community. As we talked to Daniel earlier, when we look at the health disparities in the Black community, you're right. The biggest cause of diabetes is from our eating. The biggest cause of high blood pressure is our eating processed food, salts, and things of that nature. So just want to just give you all a big kudos for just taking the next step, taking y'all journey to make sure that our community get access to healthy food and, a different opportunity, because sometimes our community don't get access to that. Keep doing what you all are doing. And before we let you go, I want y'all to give out some shout outs to y'all folks. But also let the community know, if y'all know y'all going to be pulling up at some events upcoming, y'all can shout those out so our community can get out there and support. Believe me, people watch both sides of the conversation, okay? We had our brother come on here, the Lobster Man out there in Oakland. The next day he had 100 people at his truck buying stuff. So it does work. We like to support our Black folks, especially good food. And then lastly, do y'all get all y'all vegetables organic? That's the other thing. Do y'all go to like the farmers market? Do y'all do how do y'all get y'all food? Is y'all going to Lucky's? Are y'all going to Food for Less? Or where do you get your food from, your vegetables?
We go everywhere. So we do have partnerships with like Arcadios produce we get a lot of our like breads and our mushrooms for sure from Far West Fungi in the Ferry building. But we shop where everybody shop. We go to Foodsco sometimes. We go to Restaurant Depot. Depending on what we're making, we go everywhere. But our staple for sure is Far West Fungi and Embarcadero, and then we utilize Acme bread.
Wow, that's cool. The reason why I asked that, because we had a guest who came on a couple of weeks ago. He's a farmer down there in the Central Valley. And that's one of the things that I'm always trying to do is connect Black businesses together so that y'all can get some of that organic fruit at a low cost from Black farmers. because Black farmers do matter in this country.
Yes.
There's a lot of Black farming that is going on. There's a new trend in farming, bringing back healthy food in our community. So just want to make sure that they all are uplifted and connected as well. But we appreciate you all for being here. We will pick up the book. I'll make sure my team get out and pick up a few copies. But yeah, this is y'all time to shout out any events. Anybody y'all want to shout out that believed in y'all, helped y'all. This is y'all time. Y'all no longer hidden gems anymore. We're going to make sure. We already know y'all wasn't hidden gems. Everybody know about it. I was like, oh, the hood vegan. Oh, yep. At first I thought it was Vegan Mob. I was like, there's another Vegan Mob, but it's the hood vegan. Okay. The hood chefs. All right.
The hood chefs.
All right, the hood chef, hood vegan chefs. I'm gonna call them the hood vegan chefs. All right. But
Well,
yeah, go ahead and shout out any of y'all people and uplift whoever y'all would like to uplift.
I want to shout out our team. We have an amazing team. We've been fortunate, like you talked about earlier, when you're in leadership position, you can hire your family. So we've hired Reema's sisters. My husband helps to support us. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Zane Drew, who's one of our most dedicated workers. Naima. Who else am I missing? Mila. All y'all. We love y'all because we would not be here if it weren't for you. It's a lot that goes behind the scenes when you run in a food business, and so we're super appreciative of y'all as well. And then Thursdays, this week we're starting our brunch service at the Ferry Building. So we will be at the Ferry Building every Thursday from 10 to 2 p.m.
And this Saturday we'll be at 415 Day at the Old Monarch, I believe, which is the old district. And I also just want to shout out to the community because the community got our back and they've been holding us down since we started in 2017 selling plates out of Ranisha's job and out of the church. So we just want to say shout out to our folks that hold us down. And then also you talked a little bit about equity. Let's talk about hiring Black businesses more, not just during February. Every month, let's get Black folks in there, whether we're chefs, cooks, entrepreneurs, whatever. Make sure that we have a seat at the table when the funds is being distributed.
Man, very powerful stuff. And I'm glad you said that because I know Mega Black and a number of organizations, we've been fighting. The mayor's been trying to get some of our Black vendors down to the Ferry Building to get some of that tourist money. I know every year we have our Juneteenth down there. We'll have it this year. But again, we got to make this more about equity. When we talk about inclusion, making sure that Black vendors get an opportunity to get that tourist money here in San Francisco. But thank you all for coming here today, uplifting that. And just want to say, you just made me sad because I just realized that I'm gonna be in Chicago this weekend and it's 415 Day. It's my C's birthday. The bishop won't even be here to celebrate with the people, but our Both Sides of the Conversation team will be out recording, catching footage from all of the footage that's going on. My guy Marco will be out there signing too. We got a number of our team that's gonna be out representing 415 Day, but I'll be in Chicago representing the Bay, representing 415 Day. The Warriors be playing this weekend, and I'll be in Chicago uplifting the people in the city of San Francisco on our birthday, 415 Day. Huge event. There's a number of 415 events going on across the city, community. This week, we'll be getting them out. Pay attention so you can get out and support some of the events and see what's going on. But with that being said, thank you all for being here tonight. Check out their website. Their Instagram is up there. Put your orders in. Pull up to where they at. Go support the Black business. All of our allies. Come on, allies. Don't just talk about
allies.
Don't talk about all of that equity. Be about it. Hire them. Bring them on. Your next corporate event, make sure you have them there in the building and support the vegan movement. With that being said, thank you all for being here tonight, and we'll see you all soon. And we'll pull up to one of y'all trucks and we'll get a picture with y'all, and well order some. I'll order something. Don't give me no tofu, okay?
No, we don't have that.
We don't serve tofu.
We don't sell that.
Thank you.
Right. Y'all have a good evening.
You too. Thank you for having us.
All right, Khalees, here we go. Another great segment. I know you got a good wrap up tonight. Before we get out of here, I got to let you bless the people with a good wrap up. But tonight was a great show. We had some amazing hidden gems here tonight. Short but lovely. Short and sweet, as they say. But Khalees, go ahead and wrap up tonight in your perspective.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We had Daniel with Watts Electrical Services. He going to make sure that you got your AC on because we know in the Valley, we get at the triple digits out here. You don't want to be in there slow cooking. Trust me, you need your AC. And just to know that how he encourages the young man and teaches them life skills that will take them a long way. it was just a blessing to our soul, truly a hidden gem. And it was a pleasure to have him on tonight, sharing with the community as to what he can do. Now, for these vegan chefs, yes, I can't wait to pull up on them. I mean, I don't know if I can eat the dragon fruit, but I'll try it. I'll try anything as long as the flavor is there. I'll try it. I was hoping I could get some gators since they're from Louisiana, but nonetheless, I'm willing to try everything else. I definitely was blessed by their presence and everything that they have to offer to the community. So I'm looking forward to chasing that truck. So it's been a good night. It's been a very good night.
Well, I'm sure we're going to run into them Juneteenth weekend or one of these big events. So we'll be able to connect with them soon, and we'll make sure we get a list of events that they're going to be out so we can support them. So with that being said, community, before we go, y'all know the bishop has to give the benediction for the night. But, Khalid, before I give the benediction, I got to let all the new people that's watching know, because everybody's like, why they call you the bishop? Who gave you that name? Community. The community gave me that name. They called me the bishop. No. I'm not an ordained pastor. No, I'm not in the pulpit at a church, okay? But the community, our team, they say, Bishop, all you do is preach. All you do is give good wisdom. So we're going to ordain you the nickname, the bishop. So that's why I am the bishop, okay? That's why they call me the bishop, because they just say all I be doing is preaching and teaching. I don't think I do, but they say I do. But I know sometimes I get past it, like the pastors in the pulpit. Sometimes I get a little emotional. I don't know. But they gave me the name. And not, I didn't choose it. They gave it to me. But I'll take it. I am the bishop. So with that being said, every great bishop, before they let the people leave, they have to give a benediction. So with that being said, I'm going to give tonight's benediction so we can get out of here, community. With that being said, tonight, community, you have been blessed. You've heard some from amazing hidden gems tonight. They are coming here with different views, but the same thing is uplifting each other, uplifting the people. Tonight, you heard from Daniel. The most important thing in our house is the lights on. We're not Motel 6, but we got to keep the lights on. So if you need your lights on, you have to reach out to Brother Daniels. Okay, let him come and rewire your house. Let him put in your new breaker box. Let him come in and do your new solar panel. Again, it's about uplifting Black businesses. We know Black contractors suffer the most when it comes to public contracts, when it comes to large contracts. Don't you be the person stopping them from advancing. You be the person to help uplift them. You have that house remodel going on. You have that business remodel going on. Don't forget to get a quote from the Watt Electric team, because it is important that we uplift each other in our Black business. We must continue to circulate those dollars in our community. When we talk about the ecosystem, the Black ecosystem of financial wealth, we have to spend it with each other, community. Let's make Black Friday every Friday. Let's not wait to November. Let's make Black Friday every Friday. Every time you walk out on Friday, find a Black business that you can spend your very Black dollars with. That's the way we bring equity. That's the way we bring wealth. That's the way we build up the next generation of entrepreneurs and businesses. The Brother Daniel is phenomenal. Check him out. He's teaching the young people, uplifting the young people, giving them the game, the needs that they need to succeed in a field that's not always dominated by Black folk. So again, much kudos to him and uplifting him in his business. Please check him out. Make sure you get out there and support the Watt Electric. And then we had the phenomenal vegan queens here, okay? They were talking about the health, the disparity of food in our community. They're taking a stand. See, when there's an issue, you must correct the issue with the solution. The solution is bringing the plant-based to our community, bringing the vegan food to our community so that we can eat right, so we can feel better, so we can do the things that we need to have longevity in our health. We don't have to be at the bottom of the list. All you have to do is uplift, support. When y'all see these queens in the community, don't just drive by. When you see them in the community, stop and get a vegan meal. Try something new. Go out there and try something new, because every time you try something new, you become connected with something new. You get an opportunity to uplift the businesses in our community, because when we hire and we spend our money with Black businesses, we get an opportunity to hire our people. We get an opportunity to uplift the young people. Black businesses is important. We are thriving. We must spend our money. Let's circulate. Let's keep the Black dollars on the table. We're looking at more opportunities, more businesses coming on this platform. Again, support the Black businesses. Maybe you don't know a lot about vegans. We're going to bring them back on and do an educational presentation. Go purchase their book. Go learn some recipe. It might be something in there that you might want to try, that you just might like. You have to first take a stance. You have to first take a step. You have to try. Be open to try something different, because that difference could be the very blessings of your essence. That might be what you need to change your high blood pressure, change your diabetes, change the skin tone of your skin. It's all in the food. The food can change your mood. If you eat the right food, you might be cool. I don't know. Give them a shot. Give them a try. Try something different. Spend your dollar within the community. Make sure that we uplifting the people. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in tonight. This Thursday is our next live segment where we'll be having some amazing folks to come on here to educate our community. The bishop won't be here, but I'll be watching. I'll be checking on you, community. I'll be checking on colleagues and make sure she don't have the smoked turkey neck bones going on while we're trying to get through the segment. All right, we're going to be here. But again, thank you all for tuning in. And then this Sunday, we're going to have a Sunday conversation. We still have a few slots open. We're talking about child support. Okay, we're talking about some of the things that are impacting our community. When we talk about child support, there's a number of bills that are going on throughout the state. When we talk about child support, we're trying to fix this issue of child support, because this child support is really impacting our community. When we talk about wealth, when we talk about family building, legacy building, sometimes the policies and the bills don't hurt the people, help the people. It hurts the people. So we got to have a conversation. Also, our organization is one of the organizations that are working to help change some of these very policies, trying to work to make things a little bit better to help our community out. It takes all of us. But again, we don't know if you don't speak. So fellas, come on, sign up this week and talk about your experience of child support. Ladies of the community, come talk about your experience in child support. What you feel needs to be changed. What you think needs to be uplifted so that we can have a positive impact on the community. We're going to continue to do our part. We need you to do your part. Come on and tell your story so that we can advocate and make sure that we make the change that is needed in our community. When we talk about changing the narrative, and that's what we do here at both sides of the conversation, it is the voice of the people. Lift your voices, community. Let your voices be heard. We will make a change. We will step and stand together through all of this. Just take time. We'll get there. Each day, we'll make another step to the step of the future. And we're not going to be historians. We're going to be futuristic here. We're going to step on the right side of the future. That's where we're going, y'all. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Great show tonight. Short, to the point, but we uplifted some Black business. Now, you do your job, community. Go out there and spend your Black dollars. Make Friday, Black Friday, every Friday. There is a number of Black businesses out there that can use your support. With that being said, good evening now, community. We'll see you Thursday. Have a blessed one. Pray for the bishop. I'm traveling. See y'all soon.